Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bring Back the Love Conversations, a conversation about love, romance, and R&B. I am your host, AJ Throwback, and great to be here with you on another Friday evening. And I'm so glad to be in this particular part of the series where we get to break down some of these album tracks and have some conversations around some of those topics that these titles inspire. So this week we are talking about not just good love, but good love. And I'm so honored to have my brother. I've known his brother for, I guess, about 2 years at this point. And another person I'd have met through Aired Out Radio. Shout out to our sister Fire for like just uniting so many of us together. This brother, when I tell you, like, he just is super talented and super down to earth. And then when I found out he was from my hometown, you know what I'm saying? I was like, we always manage to somehow be in a room, no matter where it is. Like it could be somebody, having something who's based in Philly. It could be based anywhere. The DMV always manages to find our own. None other than my brother, Pack Man Dre. Welcome to the program, my brother.
What's up with you, man?
Hey, man, I'm feeling great. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. It's good to be here, man.
Absolutely. So, of course, this is a conversation about, like I said, love, romance, and R&B. But of course, we're gonna start with the R&B because I feel like a lot of times, like that's the foundation, and as somebody who actually can do a bit of both, can rap and sing. Like what are your like first memories of really falling in love with R&B?
It had to be when I was younger, man. Like just hearing it and like seeing the effect it had on people. Like R&B always made people feel good, and move. So it's like me seeing that at a young age, that's inspired me to do R&B, inspired me to sing more, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So who's some of the like the artists that you remember, like your first memories, like when you really started kind of sort of getting into it?
I had to say because my mom, she always listened to the Commodores. She
Mm,
listened to the Commodores a lot. Who else? Marvin. She listened to a lot of Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, things like that. So it's like I grew up on a lot of stuff like that. So
yeah.
as far as like my era when I really started doing R&B music, I say like your Chris Browns,
Mm-mm,
Usher,
hmm
people like that that would really made me even more want to do R&B because I see what they was doing and inspired me even more.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great range of artists. Like you talking, like you said, the Commodores, Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass. From there to Chris Brown, Usher. Like I mean, all artists I love personally, but also like just the range in terms of the eras that covers. So for you as an artist, how do you feel like that makes you different from maybe say like other artists like your contemporaries, your peers of your particular era because you have that range in terms of the influences and the appreciation? Because one of the things I notice about you, like in our conversations offline, is your appreciation of R&B. Like it
Definitely.
doesn't matter the era. Like I mean, and ladies and gentlemen, I also have to note, and I should have noted this, my brother Pac Man Dre was also part of my selection committee for this particular album. So like he had a lot of great feedback and a lot of great reactions to the songs that I shared with him. And I know that a lot of that has to do with the fact that you have a wide range of appreciation in terms of like the different generations of R&B. So how do you feel like that makes you different from your contemporaries?
I feel like being open minded always make you more different. You know what I'm saying? When you open to different sounds, not just different genres, but different time spans of R&B. Like when you open to that, it always gonna give you an advantage because you can tap into different things that the normal person won't be able to tap into or grab inspiration from. So it's always better. I
Mhm.
feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Like, I just think that it gives you a lot more layers and vibes because I mean, I think with a lot of R&B from back in the day, there's similarities and there's differences in terms of like, say, once you get to the Chris Browns and the Ushers, and even now when you think about like a lot of the R&B that's out now, I think when I think about somebody like Lucky Day, for example, like I think the thing that makes somebody like him so special is because he's a great mixture of the classic R&B, the stuff that we love, and still being able to make it in a way that translates well to this the current generation of R&B listeners, and not just the current generation, but also generations who came up listening to the Commodores and Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass and artists like that, because he somehow finds a way to kind of weave that into what he does, and just taking a second to give you props. Like that's a thing that I like about you as an artist, is the fact that you able to do that as well. Like, I mean, whether it's been stuff you've let me hear personally or stuff you've actually put out, it's a way that you sing, or like when you sing live, like there's a way that you sing that has like a bit of new soul and old soul at the same time, and but the key thing is that you have soul to what you do. Like
Fact,
your pen game, like another thing I gotta praise you on, your pen game is ridiculous, bro. Like like
man.
you do it in a way that, again, you make it so that people of this generation want to listen to what you're saying, but there's layers to what you're saying. Like you write like a rapper, but you sing like a singer, if you know what I mean by that.
Most definitely. But now I feel like this is always better when you do it like that, man. Yeah, most definitely. And it's
Hmm.
grab inspiration from, because just because you can take stuff from the past that worked and you can see what didn't work
Yep.
and apply it to today's time and make it even better. So it's like that's what I be thinking when I'm making the music, 'cause I want to reach out to all audiences.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's smart, because it really extends your legacy and your longevity. Because I think sometimes when you get too caught up in time period and you don't know how to really break out of it, it's like it restricts you to that time. Versus if you say, I think it's funny that you mentioned like both Chris Brown and Usher, because I think one of the biggest reasons why they've had so much longevity is because they've been able to pull from the past but also adapt to the present. I mean, you talking Usher, he's had a career of over now 30 years. Chris Brown is inching on 20 years. And none of that is on accident. Like, these are two artists who really understand, like, look, I want to respect the past. I want to respect what got us here to this point of R&B, but I also want to be able to connect across a wide range of audiences. Like, I think about Heat with him and Gunna. Like, one of the things I like about that song is that, like, first and foremost, when I first heard that song, I loved it from the door. But then you start seeing, I mean, it's a song that's definitely for like a younger generation, but then you start seeing like the older crowd, like they hand dancing to it. You know what I mean? It's like it was a song I would have never thought the hand dance, but then it's like it kind of makes sense because it's got that little pocket where you can do that
Yeah,
to it.
I feel
You know
too.
what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So like, to be that open as an artist and leave yourself that open as an artist, it just really extends your shelf life, so to say.
Now, most definitely for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So songs that really kind of sort of jumped out to you, like when, whether you growing up like listening to like some of the stuff that your mom listened to, or like songs that you just really, that jump out to you. Like, what are some of the songs that you really remember?
It's crazy because I was just watching the Temptations.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the songs that they were singing, like really, I really felt those songs. You know what I'm saying? I felt
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of them songs were really coming from spaces that was familiar to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they would just want to talk like a lot of stuff. Even though some of those songs was written for them,
Mm-hmm.
the way that they was written was like it reflected on them, like on their lives. So it's like Let me see if I can think of the name of one. Um, what's that joint? I was just watching that joint, man.
They got so many.
Hey, I'm trying to think that it was a joint. David Ruffin was singing. I forgot
Mm,
the name of it,
mm,
but it's probably one of his biggest songs. Like the pain, like you could like hear it and you could feel it in that song. So it's like when I'm listening to R&B music, that's what I'm looking for. I want to feel it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I want to be the, almost visualize what the person was going through at that moment. You know what I'm saying? When I'm
absolutely. Yeah, and it's funny that you bring up David Ruffin because David Ruffin is a very complicated character in a lot of ways because he was somebody who had a lot of demons, a lot of demons, and sometimes the people who have the most demons have the most soul. It's one of those ironic things in a lot of ways because it's like they're getting out a lot of that pain. They're getting out a lot of those. It's their way of exercising those demons on wax. You know what I mean? And like thinking about him, like one of the songs I think about with him that I think is very, I don't know, like I felt a lot of that soul and a lot of that pain, and a lot of that feeling was I'm losing you.
yeah, that's what
Like
you're talking about. Yeah.
I had a feeling that's the one you was talking about because that's the one whenever I think about like him really having to like dig for
Mm-hmm.
that one vocally and like soulfully, that's the one I always think about, you know.
Yeah, you can feel
Yeah.
it most definitely. As soon as he starts saying, most definitely.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, Temptations, like, and the thing is, it's like they done gone through a lot of different iterations in terms of like the lead singers, some of the other players that have been a part of the group. You know, like I think about in the very beginning, I think Paul Williams was one of the leads. Then it became like, then it was Eddie Kendricks. Then it shifted more to David Ruffin and
Yeah,
kind of go back and forth between Eddie Kendricks and David Ruffin. Then Dennis Edwards comes into the picture, and like that kind of sort of establishes another era of like Temptations music because then you get the Papa Was a Rolling Stones and you get I'm trying to think Ball of Confusion, and then a bunch of other songs that were a little bit more in that psychedelic time of like their transition as a group. And but the soul was always there. The way to be able to like interpret the lyrics, even though they didn't write any of the songs, they were still able to like interpret the lyrics as if they did, like
and
they
bring that
owned the
to it.
lyrics. Exactly. And to me, I think that's another thing with a lot of artists back then, like versus a lot of the artists now, because it's funny that you mentioned like say a Chris Brown or you mentioned an Usher, and they might not write every single song that they do, but they have had more hands in writing than a lot of the artists back then. So to be able to be an artist back then and you didn't even write that song, but to be able to interpret those lyrics and bring a certain level of feeling to those songs is actually a little bit harder because it's like, dang, I gotta sit here and I didn't write this. Like, I might not even know anything about this, but I gotta dig and find the emotion, find the soul, find the feeling in this song, you know.
Fact.
So to be able to do that, that's an amazing talent for real, for real.
Yeah, most definitely. And I feel like Temptations did that down to a T, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They one of the best groups at it, you know, of all time. That's, I mean, that's why their legacy still lives on to this day, you know. Yeah, for sure. So in terms of how you receive music, because I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I know you're younger than me, and you probably receive music differently than I did. You know, I came up on like I still remember like 8 tracks. Like that's how far back it goes for me. Even though like I didn't really play 8 tracks, I was more of a vinyl tape CD guy. Like when I was really coming of age and loving music, more so tapes and CDs than even vinyl because we had a record player, but it didn't really work. You know, but I knew how to work a record player and still do. You know, but like then I also transition into the whole thing of like the Napster era of like getting music, and then it eventually evolved into like iTunes and Spotify and you know all of those things. So for you, and then on top of that, I listen to a lot of the radio, and then I watched a lot of BET, like when BET was still in DC. So for you, like, how did you receive music, and how do you feel like the way you receive music kind of helped you to appreciate music?
And this is why I feel like music is such a like powerful thing because, especially like a lot of the time when I was younger, until I really got to like high school, I don't remember myself really just looking up music myself or going to look for music myself. Like it was always I would hear from somebody else or through somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So music basically brought people together, and during that time for me, a lot of my friends would listen to certain different stuff, or family would listen to certain different stuff, and I would just happen to hear it, and I would like it, and I would grasp it. So,
Mm,
but later on, I started, getting to more of the streaming stuff, the YouTube. Everybody was on YouTube back in the day a lot. Then you had your Spinrellas, your lab mixtapes, yeah,
mm,
all that stuff like that. So, but I would say word of mouth um,
mm.
in the beginning for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's powerful in and of itself, because even being younger, like, I feel like that's an across the board thing that really hasn't been, I mean, it has been talked about, but not in the way that you're presenting it, like, which I think is dope, because I think for a lot of us, if it wasn't for word of mouth, if it wasn't for our family members giving it to us in the way they gave it to us, if it wasn't for our friends sharing music and how like that music kind of brought us together. And I think for a lot of us, it's in different ways. Like, I always think about when I was in high school, and one of my homies, he was the only one like driving at the time. So we would ride around in whatever car he was driving, and we just turn on the radio, and or he would have whatever CD, like it could be an R&B CD, like one of the, or it could be like somebody who's not even R&B. Like, he was one of the first people to put me on to somebody like Steely Dan. Like, I would have never listened to Steely Dan on my own. You know what I'm saying? But like riding around with him, he was listening to Steely Dan, Sade, Maxwell, but then he throw on Tupac. He'd throw on like somebody from the West Coast, some random West Coast artist that I wasn't necessarily into, but he kind of helped me to get into. But it was that togetherness. Like, you listen to music together, and not only is it a thing where that's how you get a lot of music or get put onto a lot of music, but a lot of your memories with those people are connected to those songs. And I think that's also the beauty of music, is that you, especially if they're good memories, you have a lot of, you can say, hey, to your friend, like, hey, remember that time we was riding so and so and you had that plan, like, and then it'd be like, yeah, like those types of memories I definitely live for personally, because it's one of those things that just keeps you connected. And then you start kind of sort of going down a rabbit hole of that specific memory, but then you also start going down a rabbit hole of how that song made you feel in that moment. So,
Yeah, most definitely, it's a powerful thing for sure.
mhm, definitely, definitely. So, as we transition into the topic itself, because for everybody watching, of course, every song is based, or every episode is based on a song from my project Love on Rewind, and this one is based on a song called "Give Me Some of That Good Good Love." So I think good love, like, it's a certain kind of love, but then it's like good love, like, is that great? Is that excellent? Is that like the next level? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, good because stand for something else, but we won't get into that unless we get into that. You know what I mean? But like, for you, when you hear say good love versus good love, what comes to mind for you?
I feel like when you hear good love, I feel like it's taking it a little further than just regular good love because I feel like it's unconditional, first of all. And to take it a step further, maybe a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some good love could be even a little crazy to a point you doing things that you never would have thought you would have done type shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I feel like that's the difference. But I feel like good love is just somebody, somebody showing that they love you and maybe being there for you at certain times,
Yeah.
or supporting you, or caring for you, checking up on you, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the difference is like how far you willing to go for the that person.
Mm-hmm. 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 I like that. I like that. Yeah. It's just like that little extra mile that you are willing to go in order to like show like, hey, I want you. I need you in my life.
Yeah.
You know, like I definitely feel that. Definitely feel that. And what's funny is like that pretty much nails down without saying it, like where my mind was when I made that particular song. Like
Mm,
it's like, okay, yeah, there's good love, but then it's that love that it's like you jump through fire if you had to. You know what I'm saying? Like you will knock down everybody you can just to get to it.
mm.
You know, and it might be reckless. It might be
Crazy.
like you said, crazy. But it's like, but you're willing to do it because you see something in that person that you don't see in anybody else. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So yeah, I like that. I like that right there. So keeping that in mind, is there a song that you can think of off the top of your head, like, you know, an R&B song that you feel like kind of sort of captures that good love?
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real simple with that one.
Okay.
Got the lady who sings the song, but that's how I go. Like, you give good love to me. You remember that song?
Oh yeah, that's Whitney Houston. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Whitney Houston, man. I can't be forgetting that. But yeah, I feel like that song sums it up pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's talking about that good love.
Hmm.
You know, you can feel it. Yeah, I feel like that's a good suggestion right there.
Oh yeah. Oh
This is the
yeah.
first thing that come to my mind. You know, because
Hmm.
what she was saying about and the question you asked me kind of went together. So I feel like that was just the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great one right there. That's actually my favorite Whitney Houston song of all time.
Really?
So yeah, yeah. So it's like as soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah. You pick up exactly what I'm putting down. You know what I'm saying? Like that I'm not gonna say that's the only answer, but it's a perfect answer. In my opinion. You know what I mean? Because it really is like that next level. Like, I mean, she like the beginning of the song, like she's basically saying, like, I found out what I was missing, you
Mm.
know. Like that's saying a lot. Like I've been searching all this time for this particular type of love and now I found it, you know, and it's nothing out there like it, you know.
I like
So
it. Nah, for real.
yeah, yeah. So I love that. I love that answer, bro. Yeah, that's a great one. So in your personal experience, this is how I wrap this up. In your personal experience,
Mm.
have you experienced it? And if not, do you hold out hope to experience it?
Me personally, I don't never think that I have experienced real love, like real love. Yet everybody
Mhm.
go through phases where they think they might love somebody, or the other person might think they love you. But no, I don't really think I have experienced it, real love, or that real good love. But I am open, and I'm still looking, man. Like, I feel like that's something everybody wants. You know, everybody
Mhm.
wants to be loved that type of way, to unconditionally. Will have somebody that go to bat for you, do anything for you, things like that. So most definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll ask a follow up to that. In terms of you having it, do you feel like you are at the point where you could provide that to somebody, that good love to somebody?
So I feel like you always want to make sure, first of all, you love yourself. Because if you don't
Hmm.
love yourself, it's really hard to try to love somebody else to the fullest capabilities. But I feel like, yeah, me personally, I've been through a lot. I love myself. I feel like I can most definitely give that love to someone else for sure. that unconditional love, that good love.
Hmm. Hmm.
Most
Yeah. 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 That's an honest answer. And you're absolutely right that you have to give that good love to yourself before you can give it to anybody else. Like you have to be. It's the whole thing of making sure your cup is really overflowing in a lot of ways because that overflow will pour into somebody else. You
facts.
know. So that's powerful, bro. So man, I love it. To the point, you know what I'm saying? Like we hit everything, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate the conversation, my brother. And as always, with any of my guests, I like to give you the opportunity to plug yourself because, like I said from the outset, you are a dope artist. I love the music that you put out. You got visuals out, you got music out. So this is your time to plug yourself and everything that you got going on. So floor is yours, my brother.
Man, I go by the name Pack Man Dre. Y'all can follow me on streaming platforms at PACK space man space Dre. Y'all can follow me on social medias at Pac Man Dre, PACK_man_Dre. Appreciate y'all for rocking out with me, man. It's been a good experience. We here with my man AJ Throwback, and it's lit, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I appreciate you uh rocking the merch out. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta shout you out. Like my brother, he won one of my last giveaways, merch giveaways. And like as soon as I floated him the merch, maybe a couple days later, he had it on on a interview that he had on another show. So I appreciate the love and support. I appreciate the feedback with with the music and with the merch, with everything. Like I just appreciate your support over these last 2 years, my brother.
No problem, man. Like I said, support don't cost a thing, and anytime, man. You hear me?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll definitely be getting up soon, and you know what I'm saying, appreciate you once again for coming on the show, my brother.
Most definitely.
All right, now.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, that's my brother Pac Man Dre. Y'all make sure he got a dope single out right now, Secrets. Y'all got to check that thing out. He got a visual for it, everything. Like just the energy of that song, the songwriting on it, and everything. Yeah, definitely my favorite song of his. And he got lots of dope music out there and coming on the way. So y'all definitely connect with my brother. You know what I mean? And dropping some gems about good love. Like it just goes a little bit further than just your regular love. So I appreciate him saying that. Speaking of which, of course, everything that I do is revolving around music, and this is revolving around a song from my album Love on Rewind called Good Love. Play a little clip for you real quick in case you haven't heard it yet. The album is out right now. It's an 80s and 90s inspired R&B instrumental album from yours truly, containing the singles Something New, Fluent in My Language, Resilient, and Rewind. It's now available for purchase and streaming. You can get it at iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Tidal. Anywhere that you stream music, you can get it. It's also available on my Bandcamp page, ajthrowback.bandcamp.com, and also on my website, which is bammllc.net/music. So if you don't already have it, please make sure that you go out and get it. I appreciate everybody for supporting it thus far. And also, even though, give me 1 second so I can actually pull up the banner for this. Even though this shirt is not my shirt, this hat is my hat. You've seen this hat a couple of times before. Make R&B music great again. My brother Pac Man Dre also has a Make R&B music great again hat. In tan colors. So it's quite a few colors that you can get this hat in if you're really feeling this. You can get it at my website as well, bammllc.net/shop batch. If you want to follow the brand on social media, that is batch.202 on Facebook and Instagram, and on X, that's batch_202. If you're not already following me on social media, I am at AJ Throwback on Facebook and X, and then on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, I am at a.j.throwback. Right here on YouTube, I am at AJ Throwback 928. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Make sure that you hit that bell notification so whenever I go live, post a new video, premiere a new video, you'll be among the first to know. And please make sure that you like, comment, and share this great conversation with your friends and family. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Of course, we will be back next week with another conversation right here on Bring Back the Love Conversations, where I like to say it's all about bringing back TLC, not just the love conversations, but also tender love and care. Keep the love flowing, keep the love going, all of that good stuff. So until next time, please, everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we will see y'all back here next week. So y'all take it easy. Peace.